We had our Editor's Choice Top 8 Games of 2024 a while back, and we promised an all-indie version. Well, here it is. 2024 was a fun year, but it's time to shout out all the underdogs of the industry, the indies. Just like our previous top 8, in no particular order and only includes the ones we covered on the channel. We'll only be briefly describing the games, so if you want to learn more about them, we'll have the full reviews linked in the description below. That being said, let's get right into it. Our first indie game will be Indiana Jones and the Great— Wait, please, it's a joke, come back. Dungeons of Hinterburg. Our first entry I would describe with two words, comfy and nostalgic. Dungeons of Hinterburg is set in the mountainous regions of rural Austria. You play as Louisa, a burnt-out lawyer looking for something more to life. Her search takes her to Hinterburg, where magic dungeons have started popping up for some mysterious reason. It's nostalgic because the gameplay reminds us of those old-school 3D Zeldas, with its dungeon crawling, puzzle solving, and wonderfully simple action battle system. It's comfy because it really captures that feeling of being on vacation. Well, despite the magical monsters and solving the conspiracy behind the magic appearing in Hinterburg. They also have this friendship system with the townspeople that gives rewards that could help you on your dungeon crawling journey. The description, relaxing action game, seems paradoxical in a way, but Dungeons of Hinterburg manages to pull it off either way. Chef RPG. Cozy games really have this funny recurring theme of just being sick of work, so why not go for the boonies and work again? That's basically what Chef RPG is, but with a culinary flavor. You're sick of your fast lifestyle working at a busy city restaurant, so you go to a small town to run a quaint little restaurant that an old mentor asks you to reopen. While Chef RPG is still in early access, it's built a good enough base that even in its fairly early state, there's quite a bit of content to sink your teeth into. It's very Stardew Valley in the getting to know the community you just move into aspect and foraging for ingredients. It also feels like Cooking Mama with the cooking mechanics. Lastly, the restaurant management feels like Diner Dash. Oh, some of you haven't heard that name in a while, I can tell. We look forward to how much more Chef RPG grows moving forward. It has a lot of potential and we hope it brings that potential to fruition. Eiyuden Chronicles. The Suikoden series is a beloved franchise that's been craving a new entry for years. Here comes Rabbit and Bear Studios, headed by the legendary creator of Suikoden, Yoshitaka Murayama. May his soul rest in peace. His studio brought to us the spiritual successor to the Suikoden series, Eiyuden Chronicles. The game continues the Suikoden tradition of being a war-driven drama with a lot of conspiracies and political plotting. The start of the story even calls to mind an amalgamation of previous Suikoden games. It will surely feel like a blast from the past for a lot of fans of the series. Eiyuden is very obviously a game made for fans of classic RPGs. There's the turn-based battle system, but it also includes a lot of outside battle gameplay. From minigames to town building, there's a lot to explore in Eiyuden Chronicles. While it's a good game in and of itself, what it represents is equally important. It's a passing down of tradition and keeping the spirit of a classic game alive. Animal Well. Animal Well is the product of 7 long years of development by solo game dev Billy Basso. Moreover, it's the first game published by Big Mode, an indie publisher founded by prominent gaming community figure Donkey and his wife, Leia. Animal Well is a pixel graphic game that looks like a Metroidvania. The big difference it has with a typical Metroidvania is that it doesn't have any combat at all. In place of combat, you have various puzzles to solve. To help you solve these puzzles, you'll find various tools around the dungeon which can be used in various creative ways. There are no tutorials or help when you pick these tools up, so it really is up to you how you interpret the utility of these tools. Throughout the whole thing, you're wrapped up in this uneasiness and eeriness of the whole situation. So much so that we consider Animal Well a horror game with how much atmospheric creepiness is happening. Oh, and creepy ghost cat. Animal Well is a wonderful work of love that took so much time to make, and it shows. The creator is also very confident that certain puzzles and elements will stay hidden for a long time. I wonder how the community is doing right now with that. V Rising. V Rising is a survival crafting game where you play a vampire looking to become the head honcho of all vampires. The game flips the usual survival trope of gathering and foraging in the day and resting at night on its head since, well, you're a vampire who can't go out during the day. The game does a great job of making you feel like a creature of the night as you level up and get stronger while you hunt down prey and strong enemies. The base building mechanic allows you to build and customize your own vampire lair. You can even upgrade to a huge vampire castle near endgame too, and be the hot go-to destination for all the vampire hunters across the land. Atomic Picnic. Atomic Picnic is a third-person shooter roguelike that just recently released their early access. For an early access game, it has a lot of potential and provides a fairly polished gameplay experience. They've got a lot of fun game mechanics like the perfect reload and relic system. Being a roguelike, it naturally has a lot of replayability. The game also features 4 unique playable characters, each with their own specialties and abilities, which gives more variety gameplay-wise. The devs are also constantly improving the game with constant updates. They even have a whole roadmap leading all the way to their 1.0 release. The roadmap lists new characters, weapons, and maps. We're looking forward to what they can do with the game and wish them luck in their development journey. These last 2 games were mentioned in our top overall games, and we're happy to have them come back on our all indie roundup. Until Then tells us the story of Mark, a young boy living in the Philippines. He lived a fairly average student life until he met a girl he swears he'd seen before, Nicole. Thing is, this isn't an isolated phenomenon. Other people have been experiencing this weird deja vu. What's behind the strange occurrences surrounding Mark and Nicole's lives? Until Then is a story-focused game that leans heavily on the mystery of the plot and the interpersonal relationships of the various characters. This game will leave you intrigued, puzzled, and most importantly, emotionally drained. It's a story that tackles some serious and emotional topics and is a must-play for anyone who loves a plot-heavy game. It also gave us a fairly accurate depiction of Filipino life and culture that, as far as we know, have never been seen in video games before. Its story is definitely something that has to be experienced yourself, so that's all we'll say for now, other than prepare some tissues. You'll need them. Minds Beneath Us. Minds Beneath Us is a wonderful indie game set in a fictional cyberpunk Taiwan where mega corporations rule. You're put in the shoes of Jason Dai, quite literally. What does that mean? Well, you'll have to find out yourself. You navigate through the dystopian city of Wanpei, where your morals and values are constantly being tested by the oppressive system that controls everything. It's a story-heavy game, and we compare the gameplay to Quantic Dream games like Heavy Rain or Detroit Become Human. It takes your choices very seriously, and the story changes quite a bit depending on your chosen paths. It also gives you the occasional action-packed QTE. Minds Beneath Us is a great game if you like games that ask you hard questions, make you reflect upon certain realities, or challenge your worldview. It's definitely the kind of game that stays with you long after you're done playing it. Those are all the indie games we absolutely loved this year. Hopefully we get to play more in 2025. The indie scene is full of unknown jewels just waiting to be discovered. So take a chance to play one of these games. As we said at the beginning, we'll be leaving links to the full review down in the description, so do check the corresponding review video if there was a game that caught your eye. That being said, there are also a lot of indie games that we missed out on this year, so we'll throw the mic to you. Which indie game did you get a chance to play this year? Which one is your favorite? Did you get to play any of the above games? Tell us in the comments below. As always, like and subscribe if you liked the video. Check out our other videos if you want more video game related content. Thanks for watching. This has been Game It, and we'll see you in 2025.